Hi everybody, welcome to Friday Night Sports. I'm Stan Gravois, and at this time, 1 week ago, we were not positive that there was going to be NFL football, but we were pretty sure that the lockout was coming to an end. It did just that on Monday morning, and the Saints are in action, folks. Actually got on the field this morning for the first time at 8:50 over on Airline without Reggie Bush. As most of you know, yesterday Reggie Bush was traded to the Miami Dolphins, a sign and trade situation where he signs with the Saints. Saints trade him. They actually get something in return, a good young football player, and Jonathan Amaya. So it's a situation where Bush is now where he probably needs to be, because quite honestly, the Saints need that cap space, and he is going to make about $5 million a year with the Miami Dolphins. But the great news is as you turn around to Friday morning, you find out that Darren Sproles is a member of the New Orleans Saints, a terrific football player from San Diego. He decided to cast his lot with the Saints. I think Drew Brees had a lot to do with that. And I got to tell you, and this is just a personal opinion, he's a better football player than what Reggie Bush was. I think we're going to see big things from him. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, they got on the field this morning over on Airline. We were very fortunate. We're going to listen to what Sean Payton has to say about their first day of practice.
Let's go through the transactions that have taken place officially since yesterday. We've agreed to terms with linebacker Danny Clark. That won't be official or finalized till, again, tonight at 5 o'clock. We agreed to terms yesterday with running back Darren Sproles. Again, that's not finalized until 5 o'clock tomorrow. We waived and failed physical linebacker Stanley Arno. We terminated and failed physical long snapper Jason Kyle. And then the following players that were out here that didn't participate, that all failed physical yesterday: tackle Charles Brown with a hamstring, Chris Ivory, running back, with his foot, punter Thomas Morstead with his toe, cornerback Tracy Porter with his knee, defensive end Greg Romeus with his knee, and offensive guard Carl Johnson with his hamstring. Jonathan Amaya was able to practice today, the safety that we acquired from Miami. The key with these practices this afternoon, will be more of a teaching session, but these one-a-days is just learning, how to practice with each other without any contact. And we showed a film on it last night, what we expect. I thought they did a good job of it. We didn't have guys on the ground. We do feel the need to condition and make up for a little bit of the lost time, and we cut back some of the reps. We were probably 20 minutes shorter than the schedule allowed, or 40 minutes shorter than the schedule allowed, but 20 minutes shorter than we had planned on. And we just cut back some of the snaps, some of the position groups until next week comes. We've got 8 offensive linemen taking snaps the whole practice. We're thin at we're thin at safety. So you got to be careful. Not only Drew, Vilma, there's a number of guys on this team that understand the challenges of playing well and understand the challenges of competing and becoming a team that's a threat towards the end of the year. So I think it speaks a lot for the locker room and for those guys that took that upon themselves. I know they planned it for quite a while, and there's a lot that went into it. And as a coach, that's good to see, because that there's certain aspects. Look, I think from the plays standpoint, or the offense-defensive standpoint, or kicking game, that's not as big a concern as just the running and the lifting. And I think that they were able to do a good job that way. Well, I thought they handled today's practice well. I mean, we've got a lot of work to do. It's a unique practice in that we've got a lot of veteran players here, and we've got 18, 19 players for the first time that just out there today. And so you've got groups that are combined, because your whole team's not intact, and it won't be till next week. So that's logistically a little bit of a challenge.
And although it was good to hear that Danny Clark, linebacker, has signed, he was a free agent, guys like Heath Evans, Jonathan Goodwin, Roman Harper, David Thomas, great tight end. I think he's a guy who carried them at the tight end position the last few years. Zach Strief, Darren Sharper, all are not signed at this point, so hopefully they'll come around and they'll be Saints pretty soon. I mentioned earlier Darren Sproles is now a New Orleans Saint, a good running back from San Diego, and I understand that in the preseason time, and when I say preseason, before the lockout actually ended, Drew Brees was working out with him in San Diego, so obviously there's a tie there, and him coming over to the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees spoke today a little bit about that, and I got to tell you, as much as he liked Reggie Bush, he let it show. He said what was on his mind as far as getting Darren Sproles. I think he believes he's going to be a better football player than what Reggie Bush was for the New Orleans Saints. Let's listen to what Drew Brees had to say.
Well, I mean, it's first day, so obviously everybody's getting out here, working out the kinks. I mean, we're all excited to get back on the field. But, you know, you get out in these elements, the heat, the humidity, it takes some getting used to. A lot of young players, obviously, because of the free agency rules. And, you know, a lot of our free agents, even though we've signed quite a few, they're not able to be here until next week. You know, that there's obviously a big learning curve. So I felt like the work today was really good, and I think we'll just get better each day. You know, this doesn't feel like we didn't have an off season. As crazy as this offseason was, and obviously the fact that we didn't have team organized or, you know, Saints organized workouts here at our facility like we normally would have, and all the craziness of the negotiations and flying all over the place, I still feel like, you know what, this is, I feel like I'm not stepping in on the first day. You know, I feel like we've been together, because in reality we were together. We were together for much of May and June, and I felt like the work we got done is going to pay off as we go through camp and get ready for, you know, the start of this season, and that was the whole point of that. And only time will tell, but I feel that way right now. I actually worked out this entire offseason with Sproles back in San Diego, and so I'm very familiar with him as a person, his work ethic, and I think the drive and competitiveness that he has. And I think he's going to fit in great with this team, in this locker room, in this offensive system. You know, he's a guy who's has exceptional skills in a lot of different ways, and we're going to be able to use him in a lot of different ways in this offense. When you look at those guys' skills, I think they're very similar in a lot of ways. And so as I look at our offense and the way that we would plug him in the exact same way we would have Reggie, and even be able to do more things with him. Just glad that we're back on the field. You know, that was a tough process all the way around, but in the end, I feel like we got a great deal for both owners and players, and I think the best deal that we could get when we talk about the future of this league, and just continuing to make this the most popular game in our country, and you know, giving the fans what they deserve to see. So I feel like you know, a lot of the rule changes and that kind of thing are going to be very beneficial to the health and safety of players. I think that was a big emphasis for us, and I think that's going to show. But like I said, we're just excited to be back playing again and have all that behind us.
Very good. Got to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to kind of recap all the free agent signings of the New Orleans Saints and a lot of guys in the NFL who are in new homes. We'll take a look at those guys also after this break.